Everyone knows about Jackie Robinson, that he played for the Brooklyn Dodgers, that he was the first African-American baseball player. But what most people don't know is that he was a civil rights pioneer who used his fame and influence to break barriers outside of baseball, and who showed the world that race doesn't define you. On January 31st, 1919, in Cairo, Georgia, Jack Roosevelt Robinson was born the youngest of 5 children to Mally and Jerry Robinson. He was the grandson of enslaved people and the son of sharecroppers. When he was 1 year old, his father left, and the family moved to Pasadena, California, where they faced racism in their neighborhood. As a child, Jackie discovered his love for athletics and did not let prejudice hold him back. He participated in many sports and even won an African-American tennis tournament. His brother Mac, a medalist in the 1936 Olympics, inspired Jackie to pursue his love of sports. In 1939, Jackie attended UCLA, where he met his future wife, Rachel. He received an athletic scholarship and was the first African-American there to letter in 4 sports: track, baseball, basketball, and football. In 1942, during World War II, Jackie was drafted into the Army. He was proud to serve his country, but never saw battle because he was court-martialed for refusing to go to the back of an unsegregated Army bus. Jackie was later acquitted. This was a decade before Rosa Parks' same act of civil disobedience helped initiate the civil rights movement. Jackie broke Major League Baseball's color barrier in 1947. Branch Rickey of the Brooklyn Dodgers was the only general manager in favor of integrating baseball. He chose Jackie because he had the guts not to fight back. Jackie faced daily abuse from fans, players, and managers, but he never lost his composure because retaliation would have harmed baseball opportunities for other African Americans. Despite racist obstacles, he excelled on the field. Jackie was National League Rookie of the Year, a perennial All-Star, National League Most Valuable Player, World Series champion, and a first-ballot Hall of Famer. In 1956, Jackie Robinson retired from baseball and became the first African-American vice president of a major American corporation when he was hired as vice president at Chock-full-O-Nuts Coffee Company. Jackie's position established him as a business leader and created opportunities for other African Americans. Jackie used his fame to help national politicians who believed in advancing African American rights. He cared about individual candidates and their philosophies, not about political parties. While still at Chock-full-O-Nuts, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, a civil rights organization, asked Jackie to help with fundraising. William Black, Chock-full-O-Nuts owner, supported Jackie and also gave him a $10,000 check. Jackie was broadly active in the civil rights movement in the late 1950s and throughout the 1960s. He supported the nonviolent practices of Martin Luther King Jr. and was against the Black Power movement led by Malcolm X. Jackie joined protests across the country, including some with Martin Luther King Jr. In addition to African American civil rights, Jackie spoke out against anti-Semitism and for workers' rights. Jackie believed that regardless of your skin color, religion, or economic class, all people are equal. He said, "I'm not concerned with your liking or disliking me. All I ask is that you respect me as a human being."
Baseball was a bridge to the civil rights movement for him. If he hadn't been acknowledged by a lot of people and gotten a lot of publicity, he wouldn't have had a chance to move toward Dr. King and others so that he could assist them in what they were doing.
Jackie was active in entertainment and news media. He starred as himself in the popular 1950s movie, The Jackie Robinson Story. He wrote a newspaper column for the New York Post addressing issues of race and politics.
In 1959, Jackie Robinson and a young writer named Bill Branch began collaborating on a weekly column for the liberal New York Post under Robinson's byline. The Post's editor announced that the column would be the first attempt at real national syndication for a black writer.
Jackie hosted a radio show called Radio Shots, on which he discussed current topics with celebrities. He was the first African-American TV sports broadcaster for ABC. Throughout the 1960s, Jackie appeared on many TV talk shows and game shows, and even Sesame Street. He took every opportunity to inform, influence, and inspire others about civil rights. In 1964, Jackie helped establish the largest African-American owned and operated bank at the time, the Freedom National Bank, because minorities were often denied home mortgages and business loans. He also launched the Jackie Robinson Construction Company in 1970 to build low and moderate income housing for minorities. He realized that better housing and financial support are fundamental for a better life.
I had natural baseball talents. I don't have natural business talents.
You don't?
I don't have natural. No, I have to learn this. I think that this is the next frontier, business and politics.
Sadly, in 1972, Jackie Robinson died at the age of 53. Jackie's leadership and positive example influenced the civil rights progress. He helped to change America's perception about African Americans and inspire African American pride and peaceful pursuit of their civil rights. He raised funds and pooled political influence to support their efforts. He also opened parts of society that had been closed to them, such as college sports, baseball, business, and pop culture. Jackie's unique ability to break down barriers opened the door to the civil rights movement and held it open for African Americans who to this day continue to struggle to open it wider.
Robinson's forbearance and determination had opened the door for Latin as well as African American players, including many of the greatest stars who ever played the game.
If it were not for Jackie Robinson's pioneering actions, African Americans would not be enjoying the civil rights and equal opportunities available today. Jackie's legacy includes Major League Baseball's Jackie Robinson Day on April 15th, when all players, many of them minorities, wear his retired number 42. The Jackie Robinson Foundation provides educational scholarships for underserved populations of color. It's also supporting the new Jackie Robinson Museum set to open in 2020. Jackie's civil rights work continues through his wife Rachel's powerful public speaking.
I don't think he would have had Jackie Robinson without Rachel.
His daughter Sharon authors books about him and co-sponsors the annual Jackie Robinson Breaking Barriers essay contest with the publishing company Scholastic. Jackie's legacy also inspires new generations of ball players and social activists. For example, the Cincinnati Reds' top prospect, Hunter Greene, is committed to helping others. Whether it's conducting baseball camps for underserved kids or collecting reading glasses and restaurant gift cards for the homeless.
I think that's, the biggest focus on having a platform. Obviously, it's nice to have all the attention and the love from the fans, but to use that platform in a positive way, to be able to inspire and influence a lot of kids, the younger generation coming up. It's a lot about, it's very important to inspire that next generation. Obviously, you inspire kids with how you perform on the field, but it's more than that at the end of the day. It's not just about sports and baseball. It's about reaching out to everyone and changing lives. So that's what I try to focus on, and Jackie was able to do that with the legacy that he left behind.
Ask most people who Jackie Robinson is, they will say he's the first African-American professional baseball player. But now you know, Jackie represents so much more than that. He was a civil rights pioneer who used his fame, gentle temperament, and nonviolent philosophy to systematically break down barriers for African Americans and pave the way for future social activists.
What he did was done under the weight of being the first African American player. Yet his Hall of Fame plaque did not mention at all that he was the first African American to play in the major leagues. Jackie Robinson's ability to play baseball at a Hall of Fame level is completely legitimate and 100% true. However, his value was that he changed the entire country. He wasn't just a really good second baseman. He was a guy who took on everything that we were afraid to face and faced it and succeeded. We should all be very, very grateful.
In the street, Jackie Robinson hit that ball. Get wet, zooming across the left field wall. Yeah, boy.
Yes, Jackie hit that ball.